going on, 3 of a Kind gang? So I was gonna film a whole bunch more today, but I didn't do it. Here's some remnants. I did 2 oil changes today. Did an oil change in old Bluebell here. Both my cars are so very dirty. And I did an oil change on this pretty little S10 that I got here, which I tried to register today. I got some issues on that, so she gonna get parked again. But look at this door. Turned out all right, didn't it? Anyway, how's everybody doing out there, man? Hope you guys are doing really good. I've been super busy lately, but got so much to show you. Got some new footage with my new YZ250 I gotta get out eventually. Never even put out the footage of me and Life of Corey, but I'll do that soon. But anyway, today we are doing spark plugs. Okay, so I've already done a few. I'm gonna bust one out here, and you can see the cardboard. Yeah, man, they're pretty ready to go. It's even kind of burnt up here. I'm not really sure what that's about. But anyway, so I'm gonna get this thing, its tune-up done. The oil change is already done, like I said. So the reason I wanted to go ahead and document this is kind of a weird deal. So as you can see here, these 3 coils, super easy to get to, no issues at all. But these 3, I've already loosened this coil up, but there's a coil up under there. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, can't get to that one. I could probably get to this one, but this hose is going to be in the way right here. So basically, man, I'm just going to go ahead and document how all this intake plenum comes off, because it's a lot of work. So we're going to have to do some things like unhooking some things, taking this off of here. I'm going to have to pull this off. Looks like I've already lost a nut there from when I put this intake riser on, which is right here. This is going to come out of there, so I'll get ready. But this intake riser, so I'm going to unhook the tube from the throttle body and try not to remove the throttle body, because it's going to come off with the plenum. It's all going to come off in one unit. I'm going to have to cover up the holes on the plenum to make sure I don't drop anything down in the motor, because there's no bueno. Yeah, I'll get back to you in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get started with some stuff. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is go ahead and loosen this up. I like to just go ahead and use a electric impact. It just makes it a lot quicker, easier. I'm not sure which one will come off easier. I'll just loosen them both up, see which one comes off. Next order of business is to take this off. Just slide that back, give it a couple turns side to side to break it loose, and it comes right off. Look, still something shiny under this dirty ass hood. Okay, so we got this slid off now. Just kind of turn it out of the way. Probably need to clean that filter soon. It'll be a good part of this tune-up process. Another thing I didn't show you guys is these are 10mm bolts. They go here, here, and there's one more down here. All right, got to take those off in order to get this loose. Also, I'm going to have to undo these plugs. Probably just these 2, but we'll see. I haven't done this in a while. This little breather is going to have to come off, so we're going to go ahead and take these bolts out. It's just a 10mm. And that one being a nut, I need to make sure I take it off and don't lose it. Lift this off. Stick this back on there. Otherwise, I'll probably end up having lost 2 of them. That's no bueno. Okay, so now that's out of the way. This one is going to have to get out of the way as well. Again, I don't personally like to take stuff all the way off because it falls out of sockets and you lose it. Now, once this gets out of the way, now you can unhook this and this and, you know, just take it with you. But I'd just much rather do this. Sorry. Stick that under there like that. Stick this back in here. Again, no losing bolts. That's not good. I'd probably do this by hand, but obviously it's going to be a little easier with my pliers here. Let this come off however it chooses to do so. There we go. There we go. Bloop. Okay, now it's just a separate unit. So we're already getting somewhere, honestly. You guys probably could see that I have this in here already. These have got to come out. I will tell you this, guys. At no point did I use torque specs putting any of this in. So, you know, how good or bad it is could be, you know, direct result of that. When I initially put the intake riser on, which I think I can show you better, there it is right there. I had made this bypass. I did the intake as well, and I had made this bypass here, going to here and there for the brake booster. However, for a while my brakes were super stiff to start the car. They're still not perfect again, so I'm not sure if I want to disconnect that line, and I might try to just lift it and bring it over. We'll see. As I said before, these got to come off. Now, I will tell you, I should probably have disconnected the battery before I started doing it. From here, a 13 milli ought to get these bad boys out. I don't remember how tight this was. Pretty tight. So I'm going to go ahead, and it's going to be the one I'm on plus this one, this one, this one, that one, and one in the back there that's kind of hidden. You can see from here, you can't really see that. So don't forget about that and be like, well, why doesn't my intake come off? Because you'll look dumb. All right. Another thing to be mindful of when you're pulling these out, these washers, don't lose them, don't drop them. All right, guys, now that I have all of those off, this thing pretty much is ready to lift out of here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that off reluctantly. I forgot a couple things I actually said at the beginning of this. Gotta take this one off. Okay, this kind of sits back in its place. And you gotta take this one off. It's gonna be hard to show you, but oops, other way. I don't know if you can see anything, but anyway, that's gotta come off, and then I'll be able to move this. Okay, so as I thought might be possible, I moved this out of the way, and I think I'll be able to finagle to those two, especially because this actually moves and opens that one wide, and I'll probably get something. Now, look down in my motor, guys. See down in there? I'd love to get this thing ported, man. There's so much that needs to get ported there, and it would run so much better. Probably 15, 20 horsepower gain if I ported the upper and lower manifolds both. But, you know, Dustin, if you're watching this and you want to make a video on porting it, let's do it, man. First thing we got to do, I already took actually this loose, but you would loosen that. I'm going to loosen all three of these. They don't have to be all the way loose, but they got to be loose. There it goes. Not a great video there, I'm sorry. Okay. Now, I do these one at a time. Do not get ahead of yourself. You will mix stuff up. That's no bueno. You don't want that. Just do them one at a time. You can set this down. This is just going to pull right up out of here. Now this one's a little trickier. Yeah, there we go. Got caught up there, but now, see the spark plug down there? Hello, little guy. Hello, buddy. So now we're going to get our ratchet with an extension. Take this 13 off of here. Grab this, excuse the explicit, in between the legs. There we go. Stick this down in there. It's already set to loosen. They shouldn't be all that dang tight, especially because these are factory, guys. This is I'm positive the first plug job done on this car. I've had it since it had like 31,000 miles on it. We clicked 70,000 today. That is crazy. Okay, here we go. Pull this out. Definitely got to get that to focus here. Okay, doesn't want to focus. No big deal. There we go. So, looks like crud, just like the other ones did. So we're going to get this one changed. A little something I like to do is take this original box and go ahead and put the 4 used spark plugs in the box, because it's just a good place to put them when you go to throw them away. You know, it just keeps it all easy. Trash isn't too plentiful. Don't do that right there. That was fairly dumb. Sorry about the bad camera work, guys. Okay, got that back in there. I had ripped the top of that box, so that's why it's not wanting to close back. But 4 used crappy plugs straight into my trash container. Goodbye. All right, now we'll get this new plug put in the car. Put that in there nice and tight. Okay. Now I'll set it down there with this in there, but this comes off. Okay. Trust me, you want to finger tighten first. You guys do not want the problems of cross-threading a spark plug. Okay, so once you got it, you know, it's in there probably a good 7-8 threads. Now, put that baby on there, set it to tighten. Just go ahead and just go, and then it'll grab out of nowhere. Okay. And as soon as it does that, right there, you just give it a probably not even quite a quarter turn. That plug is in there, ready to fire. So much better. Now we'll put this back in, which we know is going to be a bit of a pain because it was a little bit of a pain to get it out. There we go. This only goes back in really one way. Might try to fight you just a little bit there because you see it's a little off there. Not really a big deal. We'll stick that in the hole, turn that, bam. Once you get a couple threads on that, you can go ahead, hit it with your ratchet. Woo! Boom, it's in there tight. Good deal. On to the next. It's pretty much going to be the same process for the rest of the time. You're just going to do the same exact thing for these next 2. The only tricky part is going to be getting the plenum out of the way for the 1, but otherwise, this is it's not really a hard job, guys. So I'm gonna get these other 2 plugs in. I'm gonna come back, we'll put it all together, we'll start it up, see if it runs any better. Hopefully. Guys, real quick, just to show you, you can, see here, you can hold that up and get to this last spark plug, just like that. See the blow-by oil. I'm gonna wipe some of that out before I get done here. Now, for my guys that don't have intake risers, first of all, get one. It does help. You don't need an intake riser, but it helps. It does help. You got to make sure you line all this up. You'll have a pin. You'll have a double-sided screw. You'll be able to line your stuff up, no problem. For us, with a little bit of performance added to our slow cars, you're going to want to line that sucker up just right. You got to get that hole to line up. Okay. Once you do, get one of these screws. If you got lucky, she'll fall all the way down in there. If you didn't, well, you're gonna have to do some finagling, like I am. I see a gap here, so something's obviously kind of in the way. I have to figure out why she's not sitting exactly right. What could have happened? I'm not sure. I didn't see anything in the way when I put it down. But, there we go. No, she's just tilted. That's all that is. That was, see, it's just tilted. So now, hopefully, I can tilt it and get this one to fall in. I got it in there, but I would say probably it's best, guys, to try to do one of the rear ones first. That will make sure you're lined up, and it'll get rid of the tilt. Okay, guys, so couple things here. When you're putting this back on, don't forget these top ones, and you got to do it in a crisscross pattern, just like, you know, like a star pattern, like you would do for a tire, anything you want to put on flat. I've already gone ahead and put these back in and tight, the one back here as well, right there. Went ahead and put these back on. I don't know why I thought those were opposite. It's really stupid of me. Don't worry about it. Stuck this back in here. Don't forget about that. Put this back in here. Stuck this one back in here. So all of that's done. Really, I could start the car right now. The only thing that's left to do is put that back on. Make sure I connect this and connect this back up. to here and put this this also back up here. So I'll get that done and I'll be right back. Something you guys may have noticed is that I don't have coolant lines on my throttle body. And you can see here where I have looped and bypassed that. Actually, that started leaking coolant. As you might be able to see a little bit of darkness right there. And I had to move that down and tighten it up. I did that because Hyundai did that in order to heat up the throttle body in case it was frozen. You don't need that. I don't care what anybody tells you, at least not here in Texas. If you're up in Canada, where a lot of these cars seem to be, I probably wouldn't mess with that, especially in the winter. Maybe you can bypass it in the summer and put it back in the winter. Well guys, looks like I've got it all buttoned up. I didn't end up having to undo that. I've got this back on where it goes, all the plugs back in, all the hoses back on. Put that back in there. Factory. Fucker's mint. Yeah, so you know, that's pretty much how you do the plugs. Like I said, these are the easy ones to get to. You're doing the same. Actually, this has to get loose to get to this one, but I mean, you're going to do that anyway to get that intake plenum off. So let's start it up and see if it sounds funky, wonky, doesn't want to start, anything crazy. I will warn you now, my check engine light came on this morning because when that was leaking, it actually ran me low on coolant. There's still some in there, but the check engine light came on saying that the coolant wasn't right. I forget what it said, P011B, I think, or something like that. Yeah, P011B. Here we go. All right, fired right up. You can see we just turned 70,000 miles today. Have to get my tire light also fixed. Dang, front left went flat. I put a spare on, but I haven't learned it to the car yet. Well, that's pretty much it, guys.